So I was sitting here thinking about this situation with Young Thug. And when you think about it, it literally makes no sense that he's being charged in the state as opposed to the Fed. Literally makes no sense. So you gotta ask yourself, why are they charging him with a state charge instead of a Fed charge? Some people say that if he wins the state charge, the Fed is gonna come pick the case up, and it's gonna be impossible for him to beat the Fed case. But honestly, I think the opposite way around. If he beats the state charge, it makes the Fed case weaker. It actually makes the Fed case weaker because if you think about it, the only reason, K. Cole, salute to you. The only reason why they're facing all this stuff, and all this stuff is a RICO case or whatever they're calling it, is literally only because they're saying they're part of a gang. That's really the only reason that they're in a RICO charge. Most of these charges, not all of them, are actually charges that somebody was already arrested and convicted for, from what I could tell. You know what I'm saying? 702 Smooth was good. Salute to you. So this tells me something. I think this is kind of like a test run for states to start doing this. Because think about it, they get to get the same result. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I did it myself, by the way. You know what I'm saying? I did it myself. I ain't gonna sit there and take too much credit. You know what I mean? But I did do it myself. But it gives them. It's kind of like, is it Kimberly Frazier? How you doing? And go subscribe to Kimberly Frazier if you had not already to her new channel. But it kind of seems like to me, it's a test run for states to start doing this because, oh, also too, I told y'all jokers I ain't playing. Ric Flair was good. You know what I'm saying? Told y'all jokers the new Kevin Samuels, man. I got suits and all that, so don't act like, you know what I'm saying? I got my shit together when I want to. I clean up real nice when I want to, Joker. Crooked teeth and everything, trust me. But it seems like I was saying, because think about it. Why would the feds not have picked this up already? When have you ever seen the federal government not act on taking down some young black brothers whenever they can? When have you ever seen the federal government not taking, the federal government teeth, mouth is drooling when they see some shit like this? They like, oh shit, 28, all these suspects, all these kids. Why would the Fed not have picked this up? There's a reason why they didn't pick it up. I may not be exactly on point with the reason why, but there's definitely a reason why. If they beat this state case, it makes the Fed case weaker, if you ask me. Yeah, the Feds might still pick it up, but their lawyer's gonna be like, look, we already beat this in the state with these facts and these responses and this amount of doubt, so that's gonna make the Fed be weaker. It might sound crazy, but, and I'm not saying people are supposed to get all whatever, but it's stuff like this that allows them to take one more thing after one more thing. Because I'm not sitting there saying that we're supposed to be jumping up and defending people doing criminal activity and stuff like that. But when the law starts taking one more step at a time, one more step, people are accepting it and just looking at it like, damn, it is what it is. The next thing you know, they're gonna do another step. There's gonna be another thing, one more extra thing. But like I said, you shouldn't be involved in criminal activity anyway. You know what I'm saying? But the fact is, if these boys wanting to claim it was part of a gang, like all these charges that happened years ago, they wouldn't be able to have this kind of case on them because this stuff that's already has happened and it's done already. This really is double jeopardy. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it, this really is double jeopardy. And that sounds illegal to me. Like I don't see how this is even really possible, to tell you the truth. Once you sit there and really think about what's going on, it don't sound possible. But I think they're trying to set a mandate with this. They're doing this at a state level so that way other states can start looking and start trying to do the same stuff. This shit is a war on the community. When I say community, I'm not saying all black people are under the same umbrella because all black people ain't criminals, of course. But this shit, just like when NWA came out, I remember when NWA came out, they was against it. A lot of white folks, they was in an uproar, they was protesting all this stuff until they figured out, they was like, whoa, we can use this shit in our benefit. Same thing with drill music. It's the same shit. Once they realized they couldn't stop it, it's like with NWA. They said we can't hit the goddamn like button. God damn it! Look up. There's 10 people in here, 4 likes. Believe it or not, 10 people for me that means we're popping right now. I ain't one of these big channels, all kind of numbers. And my lives be always flagged from the door. So by the time I ain't gonna go through all that, but hit the goddamn like button because it don't even look right. But this shit at the state level, there's a reason why they doing that, man. Trust what I'm telling you. Federal government play around with a fucking case, they can go in there and snatch everybody up. Why would they not be doing that? Now, Young Thug with these cases, I think what happened with Young Thug with his second charge they went in, I'm sure they knew that he had guns and everything in his house, all this stuff ahead of time. Allegedly, because we don't know if maybe they put them guns in his house. They might have put them in that boy's house and set him up. Allegedly, we don't know. But I'm thinking that somebody probably close by him was telling. They knew there was guns in there. They knew when to strike. They knew when to. And you gotta understand, when they took him in front of that judge the first time, and his lawyer, that's why I say his lawyer, I don't trust him. Something's creepy about his lawyer. That dude to me, I don't like his vibe. Like maybe he's a good dude, but his vibe is creepy. Cause his lawyer took him in there the first time to go in front of that first judge asking for bail. He's supposed to be a high-powered attorney making all this money. How you don't know that that judge wasn't going to be allowed to come up with a outcome of being able to determine bail for him at that first hearing? You should have known that the type of court he was going in front of, that judge wasn't going to allow that. Because she couldn't, she said. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go on a limb and say that dude knew that, the lawyer. I'm sure the lawyer knew that before he went in there, that that judge wasn't going to be able to give a determination with bail from that hearing because she's not that type of judge. But he probably told Young Thug, yeah, I'm going to go in here and fight for you to get, just to make it sound, you know what I'm saying, make it sound good, like he's really fighting for him. At the end of the guy, who wins in the system? More than anybody. Or not more than anybody, but the second most popular, the goddamn lawyers win. You know what I'm saying? It's like you go to family court, custody court, anything like that. Lawyers want to keep that shit going forever because they get paid every time you show up. You know what I mean? So I don't trust that lawyer. Something is weird about that. I don't like his vibe. I could be wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I don't like that dude's vibe. But there's literally no reason why they wouldn't be trying this at the feds level. There's literally no reason. The feds do not. If there was enough, think about it. If there was actually really enough to convict him on the RICO case, the feds would have picked it up right away. Well, like I was saying about these guns in his house, I'm thinking somebody probably set him up, knew he had them guns in his house, and when they took him in front of that judge, I feel like they did that on purpose, knowing that judge wasn't going to be able to resolve the bail on the spot because they probably approached him in the meantime, asked him to maybe cooperate or snitch or something like that, and maybe he didn't. So they was like, all right, we got these waiting for you with these guns in your house. We'll go over there and raid your house. Now they find all these guns. And if he really did have them guns in his house, that's just retarded any goddamn way. All them guns, a person like him. So I'm not sitting there and saying like they shouldn't be held accountable. I'm not saying Young Thug's innocent or nothing like that. But there's more than meets the eye when it comes to this case of why the feds didn't pick it up. It doesn't make sense. We didn't see, I don't know how many countless numbers of rappers at this point go down and grabbed up in Fed cases, whether they was RICO cases or just federal indictment sweeps. Tons of them we seen. Why didn't they do this one? And this one here would have been great for the feds. You got what, 28 defendants. You got murders involved in there. You got every crime you could think of involved in this case. 56 different counts. All the money they could have took off the case. You know what I'm saying? And that could be the other thing. Maybe the state of Georgia just wants that money. Maybe they know they can't convict him on nothing, but they came here to get his money. They're saying he bought a lot of land out here. I think Young Thug bought like 100 acres of land or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. He's thinking too big. You know what I'm saying? They're not with that. Because the thing about getting caught up in all this type of stuff and why you shouldn't be out here, gangs are running around doing those stuff, it's not the fact that can they convict you or not. It's the fact that by the time you get grabbed up until you go to court, and let's say if you beat it, you're going to be broke by then. Your life is going to be fucked up already anyway by then. 9 times out of 10, your life is going to be fucked up because they drag this shit out for 1, 2, 3, 4 years. Going to court, you got to file motion after motion. The goddamn lawyer, he loves it. your lawyer loves you filing motions and prolonging, because every time you got to file a motion, you got to pay this joker another fee. Every time you got to go to a new hearing, you got to pay him another fee. And if he's taking money, whether it's by the hour or by each individual incident or just an overall payment, best believe he loves this shit being dragged out long as it possibly could be. You know what I'm saying? Last time I went to court, it's just like I've been going to court since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Since I've been a teenager, I've been catching charges and getting in trouble. This shit is all a game. It's really more of a game than people even understand. It's a game. It's a fucking game. These people go to lunch together. The prosecutors, the lawyers, they trade off cases. One time, because look, I was locked up in Lackawanna County Jail one time. This is in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Lackawanna County Jail is a jail that houses other inmates from other facilities when their beds when they're over crowded. So Lackawanna County Jail was making, I forget what the number was each day off each inmate. It was an extremely amount of number just for one inmate each day from each different county that they was housing inmates in. Now mind you, this jail held like more than 1,000, maybe 2,000 people or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But their own system that was there only probably had about 400 or 500 people, 600 maybe, from that county that was locked up. Everybody else that's there is being housed from a different facility from a different county. When I was there and they had that um, the work thing as far as getting paid, I was up there working stuff, not really slave labor because it was all work for inside the facility, but what they do is they trade people off who are going to get them the most amount of money. You go up there, they'll be happy to get you caught up in something up at Lackawanna County if you were a transfer. CEOs rush in there, beat you down, write you up with some nonsense because you catch a write up, you got to stay longer. Because mind you, you're only in county jail, so you're not really sentenced to be there yet. But do you know if he is at 901 Rice Street? I don't know. Like I was saying real quick, you're in the county jail, so there's no real reason for you to be in jail. You're not sentenced yet. But if you get in trouble while you're there and stay there longer, if they can keep you there, but they're at longer because they know you ain't leaving because you're getting in trouble there, they making more money off you every day just from housing you for a different county. You know what I'm saying? This shit is, I'm telling you, I can say a lot more about it, but I'm kind of in a rush. But this shit is wicked how this shit works, man. This shit is not, it's some other shit that you're not seeing with this shit. This shit is about money. You know what I'm saying? And being at that jail like that, it was a brand new jail almost. Fulton County jail, that's what you mean? Oh, you talking about Atlanta? I don't know. But it's a business. Long story short, what I'm saying is this shit is a business. Oh, I made the wrong damn turn. God damn it. This shit is a business. That's the main thing of what I'm trying to tell you. It's a business. This whole shit. So maybe Georgia just grabbed him up because they want the money from him. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna cost them all that money. Court costs, fines, all that type of stuff, just to go to court back and forth. Every time you show up for court, you gotta pay a new fine. There's gonna be more thing on your court, everything. You gotta pay all this shit. But long story short, the moral to the story, what I was saying is that there's no real reason why the feds wouldn't have picked this case up. Why would the feds not have picked this case up from the door if it's a slam dunk shut case? You ain't never seen the feds be shy about picking up a case like this. Not once ever. Never. You know what I'm saying? So you notice, Kimberly Fraser said, I noticed they might be targeting those who might be waking up. Yeah, that's the same thing with Young. I'm not saying he's waking up, but from what I understand, he bought a bunch of land. He made that comment the other day about don't be having kids if you can't afford them and all that type of stuff. That's a minor, but what if he's going to be on the path of shit like that? That's a threat to them. You know what I'm saying? But this shit, and I gotta say, I think it might have been academics. If I gotta sit here and admit it, I don't even want, you know what I'm saying. But I think it was him that said the reason why a lot of the gangs be getting away with a lot of shit, like in LA, Chicago, and stuff like that, and a lot of little gangs. What he said makes sense. It'd be because a lot of the times there don't be no money flowing through these gangs. If you're in a gang that got some money flowing through it, and there's some shit to take from you, some property and some money and assets, that's when they come in on you and grab you up. If you out there just killing each other, they might let you go because you ain't doing nothing but killing each other. But you got some money to take. I'm not sure. It might not have been academic. Somebody said that. I don't know, but it did make sense when somebody said that, and I gotta admit, if that was academic. But yeah, man, shit is spooky, yo. Shout out to everybody that came through. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button before you get up out of here if you didn't already, because that'll be whack. And I'll be back in a little while. And I'll be back on my Kevin Samuel shit too at some point. So don't be out there fronting act like I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm doing me. So just, you don't like it, just don't watch it. That's all.